Okay, everybody, welcome back. This is our monthly last Tuesday webinar series, and we bring in the best of the best to share tips with you. And I have to tell you, we're super excited about tonight. We have Tori Toth with us. And Tori's been around. I always love it when Joanne makes a comment. We've been around forever, but Tori has been around a long time, sharing great wisdom with us. But what's I think so unique about Tori is she knows the industry. She's going to share with us some great tips tonight, but about using videos for our marketing, but how I think much more valuable it is when you are learning from somebody that understands the industry. And besides, Risa's top 100 most influential, being nominated for board seats, um, being a celebrity personality here in our staging world and in a lot of media outlets. And I'll let Tori tell you a little bit about that as we go along. Um, but there is a link if you are joining us after this has gone live. There's a link for a handout, so enjoy that. Print that out before you hear the replay of this, so that you can fill in and then have a better insight about following what Tori has to say. So I am going to hand it over to you, Tori. You take it away and help tell us what we're going to learn and everything we need to know about this. I'm super excited.
Cool. Let me just short play on this map. Do you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. And let me just see if I can get my chat box here now back. Or you just let me know what happens in the chat over there.
I will. I got it.
Okay, awesome. So guys, I'm super excited to talk to you tonight about 5 must-have videos to nurture each stage of the customer journey. We have talked about the customer journey before, and I just wanted to really show you guys how to put video to it, because it's going to help automate the entire process for you. And then you could be out there staging and doing what it is you want to do, and have this kind of working automatically for you. So it has been a little known fact that video exponentially grows your business. In fact, according to a Vineyard neuroscience of email report, over 70% of sellers who use custom recorded videos say they perform better at producing opens, clicks, and responses than text-based emails. But here's the kicker, okay? When producing this report, the company surveyed over 500 B2B sellers, and less than half of them said they use videos to sell in their sales process, I should say. So, show of hands, how many of you guys can say right now that you're using videos in your customer journey to either educate, attract, or ultimately make sales in your business?
Okay, let me look.
Sandra does.
I do. And the reason I can raise my hand is because I have heard Tori before. And it's like the kind of beating it into you and making you do it, even though it's something you may not be comfortable with. So I do, but it's sometimes reluctantly, but I do it.
Putting the makeup on first and doing it, right?
Exactly.
And so guys, whenever you see these little chat boxes in the right corner of your screen, it's time for you to chime in. I don't want to be doing all the talking. I'm sorry, Sandra doesn't want to be doing all the talking, and we want to really hear from you guys as we're going through this. And there's also going to be I'm going to be showing you a lot of videos too, so you can see firsthand what I've done in my business in order to make this work. So now there is a handful in the audience, I'm going to say right now, that kind of believe that no matter what I say today, they're never going to be on video. And I really say, why not? Whether you realize it or not, your potential and existing customers use this medium every day to make purchasing decisions. And so video will help you stand out amongst the sheer volume of messages in their inbox these days. It is also going to help them grab client attention, make you more memorable, and motivate in action as well as avoid the trash bin, I should say. When people realize that you are sending videos to them in an email, they're more likely to open them. So now I'm going to say that this is more of an advanced lesson. If you guys don't really know about video, if you don't really know about a customer journey, please feel free to reach out to me because you know, we talk about this all the time inside of the Visible You Incubator. But how many of you guys have a customer journey like mapped out already, or that you're working with one?
You can raise your hand on that one, guys, if you want to.
Oh, I don't know if I can see hands. I see the chat. Hold on. Now I see people. Now I see people. Okay. I see one hand. Yay.
Well, and I think, I mean, I'm not surprised that a lot of us aren't doing it. I mean, are you, Tori? Because this is like having a real thought out plan in an area that so many of us aren't as super comfortable having. So I mean, would you have expected all of our hands to be up? Do you see how I'm throwing us in that group, girls?
No, of course not. And so that's why I kind of gave you guys this, you know, this definition right here. So a customer journey is the complete sum of experiences that customers go through when interacting with your company and brand. It builds a relationship over time from prospect to advocate, right? So from someone who has no idea who you are to someone who, no matter what, is going to be referring you. And I'm sure you have this in your business on some level, but if we can do this and do it automatically, it's going to be so much better for us and save us so much time. So what we need to do today is set you up with a simple video plan that works with your customer journey to increase your visibility, engagement, and get you more sales. So you have to decide, are you going to let the customer dictate the sale, or are you going to take control of your messaging with video, making, you know, working with your, you know, making video work for your business is really a no-brainer, I think. I'm just saying. So I say it all the time. You might have seen the slide before if you've seen any of my video presentations, but it still holds true. Video is the primary way content is consumed by millions of people every day. And my guess is you're one of those people at this point. So video can show you something. It can take you somewhere or introduce you to somebody. What can video do for you? I know for me, video has been a game changer. By constantly evolving my business. So from TV reporter to home stager to home staging advocate, I've used video in my business to show and tell meaningful stories that make people take action. So here are a few fun facts about me. Sandra talked a little bit about them. I've been marketing a home staging company since 2009, I should say, when I opened up my company in New York City. I hated cold calling. I don't know about any of you guys, but I hate cold calling. So I decided to use my past experience as a TV reporter to start a YouTube channel. And then the channel has over 2 million views and nearly 13,000 subscribers. I'm always looking for guests. So if you'd like to be a guest on the show, Sandra is coming up soon. Please feel free to reach out. Last year, the channel was named Racz 2020 Most Innovative Product of the Year. It was as a finalist, and it was again this year. I'm also a best-selling author. I have launched several online courses for home sellers, home stagers, and real estate agents, international speaker, consulting home stagers with their own online marketing efforts since 2014. And I've been a contributor in several media publications. So why do I care about marketing your business? You know, my mission is to make home staging a real estate standard, and I've spent years educating not only my clients, but all homeowners and real estate agents about our valuable industry. And we really just need more visibility. Now, while I plan to do that as a newly elected board member for Racz, you know, you guys all need to still do your part as well by properly marketing your company. I think when you market your company locally, it helps raise awareness and nationally and even internationally. So that's why I care, and I'm here to help. Today's takeaways, we are going to go over the different customer phases, share what types of video content fits with each phase. I'm going to give you 20 highly engaging video content ideas to start recording right now and show you how to implement your own customer journey map. Hopefully we get through all of that. So when we are creating our customer journey, I want you to have this funnel in mind, and this is on the worksheet as well. Hopefully you were able to grab that. At the top of the funnel is where new leads discover who you are. Whereas on the bottom of this funnel, the leads become customers and raving fans. So ideally, we want to attract, nurture, convert, and engage with everyone who comes through this funnel by educating them, explaining, and showing proof that our company is the best one to work with. So during that attract phase, buyers are exploring options and educating themselves, right? Now, we need to begin to build our inbound assets, right? How are we going to get people into our world? And think about it. When you have a question about something, oh, did something just happen? Oh.
I have a white screen.
Do you see my screen now?
I see a track phase, yeah.
The whole screen or just a portion of it?
I see all of it, the exploration, education.
Okay, good. Sounds good. Yeah, all right. So when we have a question about something, what do? We usually Google it, or we'll ask our friend, like, our question of who's the best hairdresser, or you either get a referral or you go to Google. And so we have to create content that meets their needs and wants of, this ideal customer. We need to figure out what their pain points are, and we have to be able to produce, publish, and promote valuable content that is going to solve their problems to bring them into our funnel or our sphere. So in this phase, you want to be able to exchange valuable content for their contact information. Some of you may already be doing this now to ultimately get people on your list and continue the relationship, right? So an easy way to do that is with an opt-in. So let's put this to work. If you guys have the worksheet, make a list of your existing content assets. Do you have an ebook, an infographic that you've created, a blog post, a checklist? Maybe it's a worksheet, LinkedIn or a Facebook post. If you put time into creating a resource, include it in your list of content assets here. So under the brain dump assets, write in some of the things you already have. And feel free to shout them out in the chat too.
You know what? One of the things that hit me, Tori, when you were talking is some of the things that we may have in this category, we have worked hard to produce. I mean, I dread writing those blocks sometimes, but when I really make myself do it, make sure somebody proofs it, because I'm usually typing fast, know your weakness. I'm like, yes, have I maximized everything I can out of this task that I really was dreading? So, so I have to almost assign myself, and I haven't used those terms before, but okay, this quarter or this month, I'm going to do and fill in that blank, wherever it's missing. So yeah, so the blog is a good example how, yeah, we work hard to write them, finally get them out there, get a picture that you own or that is your own, and you need to put it everywhere it needs to go.
Yeah, that when you're thinking about creating content and creating content for the new year, you want to make sure that you're trying to make it as relevant as possible, but also as evergreen as possible. So it's not time stamped on something. So you can continue to go back out and reuse and share that content and that information. So again, you're not constantly behind the wheel creating new stuff all the time. You can go and recycle some of your old stuff.
And I hear a lot of times too, people are like, I've heard, even like us who've been in the business for a while, I don't want to give that away for free. Let's say you have a handout or a worksheet. I don't want to give that away for free. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's how people start to really trust you and think you know your stuff by sharing.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you can somehow put that fine line of like, well, this is public knowledge anyway in staging. And so they could just Google this and figure it out anyway. But is there a nugget or two that we do differently in our business that people are going to want to keep coming back for? Versus a whole entire process that you do on the back end that you would want people to pay for.
Right.
Right. You could show someone how to make a bed, right? It's one of my biggest watched videos on YouTube. There's a million videos out there on that. So of course you can, but where does that lie in the process of creating a staging plan for a bedroom?
Right. Right.
So those are two totally different things. And that's what you would keep maybe behind the scenes so you can get paid for that.
And I did just repost that. I had a couple of comments about where to find this. So I just reposted it. It's in the chat box. So you'll see it right there.
Okay, well, let me keep going because this is only phase one. So how do you get people to the attract phase of the customer journey? By sharing your message on your website, in SEO, blog posts and Pinterest, social posts, social stories, all of those stories now, right? Any other social media tool, videos and live streaming, podcasts, Clubhouse. So there's a lot of different platforms. You just need to make sure that your message is being heard on that platform and that you actually have potential customers there, which is a whole different topic. So if you guys have questions on that, let me know. You should also utilize a freebie or an opt-in, what we were just talking about during the attract phase. So it's a physical piece of valuable information that relates to your offer. And we will exchange the deliverable for their name and email. This way we then have them on our email list. So this is a 3-part video series freebie that I did a while back. How do you create an opt-in that will convert? First, you need to consider how much time they're spending on this page. As you can see here, we have a little bit over a minute long video. So hopefully they watched the entire video. That means they're already on the page for a minute. Next, intimacy. How do they get to know you? Videos, obviously, hearing your voice, sharing your story. This is how they can get to know you. Then think about the quality. It needs to be well designed and well thought out. Your freebie should provide a solution into a problem that your potential customer is already having. And there should be more than one touch point for higher conversion. So more than one way for them to to submit their information. Of course, we have this little form right here, but I also tell them in the video, I tell them down below, get instant access now. So think of ways you can have multiple touch points to start building the relationship in a short period of time, not only on the page, but once they do submit their information. So this particular opt-in has 3 videos that go with it afterwards. And so I would be able to touch them at least 3 more times before I try and, sell them or upsell them or do something like that. And the freebie should be immediately delivering what you offer. So you want to make sure that you have some type of system in place for that. And there must be a call to action to keep the relationship moving forward. So yeah.
So when you say, here's a question, when you say call to action, we hear that a lot and we have a question like, explain that a little bit deeper.
So the call to action would be on a landing page, to log in their information, to submit their information, their name and email to get X, to get my free open house checklist, to get the 5 key rooms you must be staging today, to get my secret formula on how to make a bed, so anything like that, that's enticing, that would be a solution to one of their pain points, even if it's a little tiny one.
Okay. Perfect.
So what should be, what should your freebie be? What kind of like what we're just talking about, newsworthy information that's relevant to our industry. But again, that has a timestamp on it. So if you like creating content, that might be something worth creating. If not, then I would skip that one. You could research forums and social media and see what questions people are asking to try and figure out what you can create. Go to your frequently asked questions and figure out, is there a guide that you create around that, or a video, or some type of piece of content that can answer that question that you can just put in this automated, email sequence. Your expertise, share a how-to, a tip or trick your audience can benefit from. Share your story if you have an interesting story to tell as to why you got into business, while you've been in business, maybe your first horror show, or when you stepped inside someone's house, or start with your business, why it works, how you got into it, why it's unique, the process of it. So those are some different freebies you can create. Okay, so this is an attract phase video. And like I mentioned, during this, we need to be creating educational videos for this phase. So people realize they have a problem and then search for a way to solve it. But they often do not know what type of product is, or item or service is out there for them. So we can't just say home staging. Maybe we have to be like selling a home or something, So these types of videos too, they don't blatantly promote your product or service. Instead, they just provide valuable, useful information to help your audience. And then you can really hint about what you have. So let me play this so you can kind of hear it. What should you look for when hiring a home stager? I've got the answers coming up. Hey, Tori here with ToriToth.com, where we help you set the stage at home, at work, and in life. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button as well, so you know when I upload a new video. Today, I wanted to answer a question from a viewer. What should you look for when hiring a home stager? Now, this is an important question because you'll find not all home stagers are alike. Some focus on vacant properties, have large teams and warehouses, while other stagers focus on providing value information in consultations. Sometimes they're in person, other times they're online. There are virtual stagers and other stagers like me who love to help the DIY home sellers, giving them the tools they need to stage their own properties. Speaking of tools, make sure to check out my home seller workbook. I'll attach a link down below. So the first trait to look for when hiring a home stager is what services they actually provide, and do they align with your needs? Do you need furniture? Do you just need accessories? Do you need paint color ideas? Or do you need help refreshing your home, but utilizing your own items? Do you need vendor referrals? The second question to ask is about their qualifications and experience. So I'm not going to go through the entire video because you can find it on my YouTube channel, but you can see there where I just like hinted about my little opt-in, and then I would have a link down below in the description. You could, you saw that I was talking generically about the question of home staging and like what is, like, not what is home staging, but why I stage a home. But, you know, giving people the information. So it was a frequently asked question that I got asked a lot, but it's also kind of out there on Google. And so it's like, well, let's put a video to it and, you know, just drop in where I fit into the process. And if other people come to the video and say, I'm looking for a stager in, I don't know, Boise, Idaho, then I can go to my sphere of people and send the referral that way. And I think that's a great way for us to help our community as a whole. So I wanted to share that. And then just the key metric of this whole entire attract phase, when it comes to assessing this phase, you really want to look at these key metrics: the views that you get to either your social media, to the video, to your blog. So your views, your visitors, any inbound link clicks, or anybody that's coming to you from an outside source. New followers is a great metric to look at, as well as your opt-in information, and how many times your freebie is downloaded.
That's good.
Yeah, so let's head to the next phase, which is the nurture phase here. And during the nurture phase, buyers will be making a decision whether or not they want to work with you. So this phase is where we want to build relationships and, show some TLC. And new relationships, as we all know, need special attention. And now is not the time to really ask, but to continue to offer value. So you want to make sure that you are researching and evaluate what your ideal clients want and need. Again, what their pain points are, what are they searching for, what content is out there ranking well right now, and how are you different from your competition locally? And does your brand actually have a clear message on your website, on your social platforms, on your marketing materials? So we need to help them clearly understand what it is you offer and what is the next step in the process. Okay. I also know we're kind of tight on time here, so I want to obviously reach out one-on-one to investigate where they're at. Let me know, because I can help you with this journey as well. And you want to automate where possible, because we don't have a lot of time on our hands, and we want to make sure that we're still reaching whoever it is we need to be reaching. So let's put this to work. I want you to define who your potential customer is and what pain points are they facing right now. So for me as a DIY, working with the DIY market a little bit, they are faced with really getting their home prepared for sale as quickly as possible without necessarily, doing a ton of research trying to figure it out. They just want the quick, easy steps. What do they need to do, right?
Yes. Oh, I'll tell you what, my biggest challenge right here, this probably in the last 3 months, and maybe a little bit longer, is the supply chain. I've kind of shifted a little bit right now. So my clients are mainly design, decorating clients. So they need furniture. We need, to have to look at this from a new light. So, just you can't get that tub you want, but are you going to be happy waiting 6 months? Or can we adjust and go just a little bit larger? Things like that. So it's almost like how to, how to pivot with your decisions. Is there another alternative that would, as long as you meet the criteria of the right scale, proportion, some of those things which are helpful. Like I do feel like I'm almost, I'm live, so to speak, when I'm in a client's house. I was in some client's house yesterday, and they had purchased these chairs that she did ask my opinion. I was on the road traveling, and I said, they're too big, but they bought them. So now we're having to make them work. And she's like, okay, can I video you while we're moving this furniture? Because I'm saying, okay, what's our focal point? So the pain point can differ, I think, too, based on how, if you do staging and decorating, so what your clients need.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I talk to people all the time, and they're like, they want answers. They just want answers and get their, house looking as great as possible in the quickest amount of time. Of course, on a budget, but
yeah. Darn it.
No, because they don't know. They don't know what works together, what texture, what color to pull it. Like they don't not know.
Well, and I think that's so important, like you said too, Tori, about this, being able to not just attract, but this nurturing phase, because if we've nurtured, then they're more likely to listen to us and, they can't make a decision almost out you, which is great. It's always good when they do, take your advice too.
Yeah, they'll just keep coming back because this is, just like marketing, I feel like decorating and staging a house is just something that keeps evolving, especially decorating.
Exactly. So one of the comments we have too, and I understand this is houses are selling so quickly everywhere. I mean, across the country, they're selling so quickly. So having that homeowner still value staging to hire you it's almost like I think as stagers, our own pain point, let's call it that. So that's one of the comments, Tori.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it's really, getting a video out there to show them still that you're valuable and to always be sharing the success stories of, I sold this house in this much time, it cost this much, it sold in this many days. This can happen to you too, even in a fast market. Like I just did a blog post for a client today about, agents staging in a hot market, and there's still reasons why they have to. Building your brand, making sure that you don't lose the sale because either a buyer remorse or the inspection or the appraiser. And so there's still more reasons why they need us than they don't.
I totally agree.
And I think the market's changing soon anyway, so it's getting there.
There.
It was down 1.3% or something in Chicago in October. Anyway, that's a different story.
That's a different video.
It's a different video. Okay, so as we move into the middle of the funnel here, this nurture phase, the platforms and tools we use to keep the relationship intimate and moving forward are landing pages wherever possible, doing a home selling webinar, doing an agent webinar, or getting in front of these people in person, having calls to actions, as well as having an email marketing platform. It's so crucial that you have one of those so you can continue to build this relationship out and really, again, automate your customer journey.
Just to answer that question, that can be MailChimp, Constant Contact, having an email platform.
Yes, I use ActiveCampaign now. I was using MailChimp. We have a MailChimp tutorial as well. So if you're interested in that, let me know. So once your potential customers know the possible solutions to their problems, right? Because they got educated by you, they're ready to consider their options. And so this is where you need to start creating those explainer videos. And at this stage, you must be clear on what you're selling, and at the same time showcase your brand in an engaging way. So these are some stories that I've done in the past, and this one is of Kristen Pieria. Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? I wanted to jump on here real quick because I recently got a question about how to quickly create quality content, and people always get stuck on the perfectionism of creating videos. And so the number one thing that is holding people back is that they think that they need to create high quality or polished videos in order to be successful in using video in their marketing plan for their business. So guys, honestly, I'm here to tell you, you don't need to have quality videos, but you need to strive for quality content. Okay, it doesn't, so I won't go into all of that, but that's me talking about, video. Hey guys, getting pumped up. about a half an hour, going live to teach you about time management. So hope you join me. Go swipe up. And then this one is just another story of me promoting the Home Staging TV YouTube channel. So you could do this behind the scene videos of your decorating, of you sourcing, of you painting, of you staging. I mean, people want to see this. Another thing in the nurture phase is people need to understand your product or service and begin to believe it, and your brand, believe in the brand as well. So they aren't likely to buy from you if they can't trust you or the solution that you're trying to provide. So here's a video of another frequently asked question that I created at some point. So who is the stage to sell strategy right for?
Hi, I'm Tori, Toth, a celebrity home stager, best-selling author, and the founder of the Stage to Sell strategy. Let me be the first to tell you this course isn't right for every home seller. This program is not for you if you would rather make excuses than changes. If you are excessively emotionally attached to your home and the memories you've created there. If you're unwilling to declutter and keep your home clean. And if you can't look at your home from a buyer's perspective. Now, on the other hand, if the following does apply to your situation, then I am positive that the Stage to Sell strategy can work for you. This program is for you if you are motivated to sell. If you're able to step back and look at your home from a buyer's perspective, if you are willing to declutter, clean, and repair your home when necessary. While this course is ultimately for the home seller, real estate agents, brokers, and home stagers who work with home sellers can utilize this process as well to get their clients one step closer to the closing table.
So, well, I guess I should just finish it up.
The StageToSellStrategy.com and click on the Buy Now tab to learn more, and I'll see you in class.
So I'm just answering that question, telling them who it's for, who it's not for. This is something we can easily do in all of our businesses, because we don't want to be wasting our time working with people that, that are not for us, right? So, and then of course the call to action on the end, go check out more on the website. Can't wait to see you or work with you. So that's a great, just another nurturing phase of a little light tap. Oh, go learn more information here, but this is who this is really for and who it's not. Okay, so the key metrics in the nurture phase are as follows: quality conversations, right? Like how many quality conversations are you having a week? How much engagement are you getting? However, that's becoming harder to really tally because all the social media platforms and their algorithms are being pains in the butts these days. Time spent on the site as well, and also the conversion rate. So how many people at this point are actually taking the leap and trusting you and making, making a purchase?
And two, I was going to say, Tori, see how conversational she was. You do feel like you were almost sitting on the sofa chatting with her. So it was very relaxed, and I love that.
Thank you. That was actually on prompter.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was actually on prompter. So if you get good at prompter, you can really bang out videos quicker, but it's not necessary in order to move forward. Anyway, the convert phase, this is the third phase. And during this phase, we want buyers to really make a purchase. And so they may be shopping around. So you want to be detailed and clear about what you offer, again, kind of like in the nurture phase, and wording on your website, landing pages, emails, and even like any sales pitches, they must be persuasive, right? So saying limited time offer, saying, you need to grab this now. There's only so many spots. You only have so many bookings available this week. So things like that gets people really motivated because it's also time sensitive. And like in the nurture phase, when we want to be clear about the next steps, share the process of getting them to the point A to point B. So point A is the pain point and point B is solving the problem. So what does that look like for them? right? So they're not scared about the process moving forward. And it's also important to pay close attention to your call to action buttons at this point. Are they converting? If they're not, you might want to change up the wording a little bit. And what happens is people start going through the automation process. Do they buy? Do they stop engaging? Do they say no at some point? This is really all testing and tweaking to figure out what is going to work for your target audience. And speaking of no, when they do say no, what can you learn from this response as well? Even though I hate those two little letters NO, find out why they're choosing not to buy, tweak the offer, and then share it again. So let's head to our worksheet one more time here and head to the what are you offering box and list your products and services here. And I'll give you a minute or so.
Okay, we have a whole combination, everything from decorating to staging, obviously,
Nice.
redesign. I wrote training in mine, color consultation, seasonal decorating. Good job. So we just offered the end of last year a certified bookcase specialist. So I've got a bookcase specialist on here too. Good.
That's awesome. I love that. That's a definitely niche audience right there.
I know.
Okay, so as we move into the end of the funnel, the platforms and tools you use to keep the relationship intimate and moving forward are Google Analytics, a CRM, if you're using one, a shopping cart, if you're taking any payments online, email automation, like we mentioned earlier, and a retargeting platform, right? So that's when somebody visits you online, you want to make sure that you can retarget them once they leave. And this is one of the best ways to close more sales. However, it is starting to change now too. So we don't know how much longer that will be fruitful and available, right? Because everything that's good.
It is frustrating by the time we rally ourselves in our own brains to accomplish and okay, I'm going to do this, that, this, whatever. Then it's like, okay, I'm sorry, that rule changed. So algorithms change. It's like, what? That's why we hire people like Tori to help us.
Yes, we can still use like a Facebook pixel, which is just a simple piece of code that you can put on your website to kind of track conversions, remarket to people who have gone to your Facebook or have gone to your website, who've already visited your website. You can target custom audiences and all kinds of stuff in Facebook, and really you want to get in front of these people as many times as possible, and cut through all the noise. So that's why you would be using a pixel or to start collecting data of who it is that you're trying to focus on. That's more of an advanced technique. If you're not there, don't worry about it. And if you have any questions about any of those tools, let me know. So this is a sales video I created for a landing page for our virtual home staging consultation. So I introduced myself, the product, and what to expect. And so I'll play some of this for you guys.
Selling a home is no easy task. You need to prepare the product, your home, have the right price and marketing strategy to attract an enticing offer. With our virtual home staging consultations, we can provide you with detailed instructions on how to simplify a space to shine among your neighboring competition. You will learn what updates the property needs to get top dollar, tips on curb appeal, and much more. Our team will demonstrate methods on rearranging, organizing, and in many cases, adding or editing furniture and home decor. Here's what to expect during these consultations.
A detailed property review with photos provided by you prior to the scheduled consultation, so our team can strategize before you even get on the call. Then we'll have a 1-hour virtual walkthrough by utilizing Zoom to evaluate each area of the property, including curb appeal. We will share with you a written report that has all the notes regarding suggested updates, repairs, furniture arrangement, and decorating suggestions. Plus, once your home is ready to hit the market, we will highlight the MLS listing by marketing on all our social platforms and blog. Our virtual home staging consultation will allow you to create a lifestyle that buyers not only fall in love with, but ultimately gets them motivated to make an offer. So book your virtual consultation today by clicking the Book Now button below, and you'll be one step closer to the closing table.
So that was that one.
Good job.
Thank you. Okay, and here's a demo video that I share, and it's another way to show them kind of like what they'll get, because they need to analyze the features, you know, your advantages and, you know, your disadvantages before they take their money out of their pocket. So this is a demo reel of what they would expect by, I believe.
Hello, everyone. Welcome.
Showing my screen.
Take a moment and kind of show you around our YouTube channel, Home Staging TV, so you can get a better idea what it would be like to sponsor our new channel. So this is a home staging news industry-wide channel, and it is here for home sellers, home stagers, and real estate agents. And we want to be able to reach out to our vendors and partners worldwide to get them in front of this ideal demographic and audience, so you can actually get more business too. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can then go ahead and see what our YouTube channel actually looks like and where and how you can actually sponsor. So here we are inside the YouTube channel, and there's a number of different sponsorship packages that you can choose.
So I go into where some of these things are found on the channel and all of that. So I'm like giving them a demo of what they would get and what things look like on there. And so that's another way that you can utilize this in your business. If you do e-design, if you're doing anything kind of virtually that you might not be able to physically show them, you could still, you know, record your screen and show them online.
You know, and just seeing a couple of the people that are on, Tori, like some of them won the national award last year that the DSA hands out, Distinguished Style Award. And we did some videos with some of them, like take us behind the scenes of this award-winning room. And I mean, great response. Even some of the challenges that everybody encountered. So yeah, so it's just whatever's also top of mind, I think really will help you and make you more relatable.
Definitely. And like I was saying earlier, everything behind the scenes, people want to see, and they want to know like why you decided to use this color versus that color, or this bookcase at this height or this shape. And so when you're able to explain that stuff to them a little bit, they feel like they're, you know, just getting a little piece of knowledge.
Yeah, love it.
So when it comes to the key metrics of your convert phase, obviously you want to be looking at your sales numbers, the click to purchase rate, again, if they're clicking online to purchase something from you, and then your revenue and your profit that you're making. So now at this point, after you go through that convert phase, you'll want to segment your people, I should say, on whether they purchased or not. And so you can do this with a tag in either your CRM or your email platform, and then create a separate automation sequence based off of their action. So if they did purchase, great, move on. They're moving on to the next phase where they're getting the actual products from you or the service from you. And if not, then maybe they go into a different email sequence and you try and get them to buy something else. Or maybe they've gone through a bunch of your sequences and at the end they are just on your email list to kind of stay updated and keep informed about your business. So then we head into the engage phase. And this phase happens when we want customers to actually advocate for our company. And we really want to turn them into a brand advocate where they're going to keep referring you business. So you do this by using social listening to monitor what people say about your brand on various social media channels. So like you can do that if you use a hashtag all the time or something, or if people are, at tagging your, your, oh my goodness, I can't think, your name, then they'll be able to, you can go back in and kind of track that. If you use Hootsuite or Buffer or something like that, you can go back in and see where people have been mentioning you. So we also want to drive referrals and high reviews and make repeat sales where possible. So anybody who has referred you, try and get a review from them. Make a personal connection by inviting them to participate in questionnaires and surveys so you can better understand, the success of that client and how you can repeat it. Find out what resonates with them, why they used you, the information they gained from you. And then this just helps as a resource to test new emails, new products, new landing pages. So it's just great information to have if you've had a successful client. And make it easy for your customers to encourage others to buy. So create, if you're doing something online, maybe create an affiliate program for them, or maybe there's a button or something that you can have real estate agents refer their clients to you. So there's a lot of different ways that you can create an affiliate program. And the point is we want to create a solid relationship through the process by offering amazing customer service every step of the way, including this phase. So it's easy for someone to refer you and hand out your information and share their experience with you. So back to our page here. Let's go through what assets your company has and may still need to work on at this point. So do you have all your social sites like up and optimized? Or maybe, you haven't been through your bio in a while and you need to update that. Do you have a freebie? Do you have, is your offer clearly defined? Do you have an affiliate program or a way somebody can, do you have a testimonial email or a video testimonial email that you can share with your client once the process is complete? So there's so many different assets that we can acquire or that we need. It's like the never ending to-do list, right?
I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, we do have a question, and it kind of is not necessarily lined up for right here, but I don't want to forget to ask it because I had it before. When you're making videos, the point was it seems like at one platform it's vertical, you hold your camera vertical. The next one it seems like it's best horizontal. What do you recommend if you don't want to have to re-record this for Facebook versus Instagram?
So my recommendation is to always shoot in landscape, so horizontal. And then you can use, oh my goodness, I'm blanking. You can use Cut Story. It's an app. So you can use an app and it will reformat it for you to fit on like a story or to fit into a reel.
All right, there you go. Did that? I think
Or no, I'm sorry, it's not Cut Story. It's InShot.
InShot. Okay. And let's be honest, none of us would have known if that was right or wrong.
I
But
would have known. I want to make sure I'm giving you
no,
the right
you would have
information.
known, but you could have. But you know what? That's so helpful because, you know, again, by the time we worry about having on a little makeup, having content, making sure we don't sound like we have a cold, you know, then it's like, well, darn, that doesn't look as you know, edited. In other words, fitting in that page, the frame as it should. So that's great to know. Okay, in shot.
In shot, yes. It's a good app to have. And it makes actually creating reels a little bit easier than Instagram's platform. Okay, so when we get to the engage phase here, we want to make sure our customers engage on social media. So that's why I'm saying we want to make sure our social media platforms are all updated, our bios are good, they're optimized. We can retarget them to stay top of mind or introduce them to a new service that we might have that they could benefit from. So maybe you did a color consultation and now it's time to get furniture. It's important to implement review survey tools like Think Google, like I should say Think Google, like, so give them reviews, give them surveys. This way they are giving you feedback, and come up with a plan to maybe have a contest or a giveaway so it keeps them engaged on social media. And like I mentioned, how are they going to share referrals and take part in an affiliate program or something like that? Okay, so this is a testimonial. I'll share this quickly because I know we're about
For me, you want to be ahead of the game, ahead of your competition, and I wanted to learn. What I've been able to do since learning the course, the modules were very, very well laid out and gradually threw you into where you needed to be. The thing that I liked about it most was the Facebook group, because we were all there supporting each other, kind of fumbling.
So Amy George, she's talking about, or actually her name's not George anymore, but Amy was talking about the video visibility course that I have, and it's great to have third-party endorsements of your product, your service, or your company, because it's a great way to just generate brand trust, and that people have done this and they went from, you know, your client's pain point to actually succeeding and, you know, and solving their problem. Here's another one. These do very well on video transformation videos. I won't show you guys this. I won't show you that. Okay, so some of the key metrics in this phase are reviews and comments that you get, how many referrals you get per month, and then the survey responses too. Okay, so I mentioned earlier, I provide you with 20 types of different videos you can get started on today. And I've mentioned them already, but let's recap and dive into some of them some more. Oops, what happened? Let's go back. Can I go back? What happened? Okay, so here they are. You might want to just take a quick picture of this. Some of the educational videos, and I was doing this more towards some stagers, but you can obviously insert whatever industry you are in. You know, what is, you know, what are the different shades for window treatments? Why hire a home stager? Why hire a decorator? Home staging tips, decorating tips, color tips, types of staging. So all of those educational videos. Then the explainer videos are the pain points and solutions. You know, why your company process, getting started with you, the benefits of partnering with you. And then the proof videos, all those testimonials of clients, the transformation videos, those do very, very well. Okay. So now on that second sheet here, I want you to like take some time and play around with a customer journey that you could use for your business. In order to have a successful customer journey, you need to set clear objectives for the map, profile your personas and define their goals. So profile your audience, figure out what their goals are, list out all the touch points and content you might need in order to make that happen. Determine the resources you have and the ones that you still need. We kind of worked on that tonight. And then take the customer journey yourself. So go through it. Are you missing any steps? Are you talking about things that might be outside of their comfort zone? Probably like I am right now. So take the journey yourself and then make any necessary changes to make sure that you're really covering all your bases there. And so this is that second sheet of our page here. And if we talked about, again, having a landing.
Was that a download too, Tori?
This was, yeah, that was in, yes, this is in the download.
And is it one link for a 2-page download?
Yes.
Okay, because maybe I just didn't get that one, but okay. Make sure you guys got that one and then I'll know.
Oh yeah, let me know.
I will check on that and that'll be operator error on my part.
Okay, so the simplest way to do this is if we started with some type of a landing page, maybe we do like a color guide, our 5 best neutral colors that we would always share for our clients or something. I know my color consult people are going to be like, you can't just do one. You can't just pick 5 colors when you haven't seen the room, but it gets people in, right? So let's do this. So let's say, here are my top 5 neutral colors that go with any room. This is my landing page. Maybe I talk about, I do a video talking about, are you sick of choosing the wrong color or something like that? Download this, right? So like that landing page that we've seen. Then we would immediately go to a email and they would get, a thank you email. They would get the guide. Maybe we put a video to it saying, oh, thanks for downloading this. If you like this, stay tuned. I'll be showing you another tip or something, maybe colors on your front door or something. So then you wait a day or two, and then you're going to send them that second email with another video that pertains to what it is they opted in for, and provide some more value. And then we do that again 2 days later with our value 2 video. And then we do that again, 2 or 3 days later, again with another video. And then the fourth video, the 4th email that we send is an offer. So maybe then we offer to do a color consultation, right? And then they either take that offer, which is great. That means they made a purchase and they will go into a different sequence to start that out. Or we will keep nurturing them to see if we have something else that might be interesting to them. Does that make sense? I mean, I know we're kind of like running through this very quickly.
No, I think that does make sense for everybody. If it doesn't, somebody raise their hand and we will cover that one more time. No, I think we're good on that one. Don't you love a visual?
Yeah. And so, I mean, play with this whenever you're kind of creating a customer journey or you're thinking something through. Keep mapping out your customer journey. You have that as a worksheet now, so you can do it really whenever you are planning this out. Work on the assets your company needs, that section, that 4th quadrant, that might be that forever to-do list. Work on the assets your company needs immediately. Plan for recording videos. Put that in your schedule. Have a day where you're going to be shooting videos, or at least planning out what you're going to be shooting, right? Maybe you need to take baby steps. place your journey in an email platform if you haven't already done that, so you can automate it a little bit, and then test it out and keep testing because marketing is never one and done. You have to always keep marketing.
And if you don't recognize some mistakes, then you're probably not looking at the results right. Because I mean, you will waste your time on some efforts that won't pay off. I mean, who hasn't had that happen?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's growing pains, and it happens no matter what business you're in. So
Exactly.
I think we have to learn from our mistakes. But if you guys have questions, definitely feel free to ask right now, or you can schedule a free discovery session with me at bit.ly/capital TT Discover. Make sure that that's capital TT Discover.
And I will post that on social media, Tori, where after this converts, this recording.
That would be awesome.
Perfect. Gosh, this was a lot. This was awesome. I appreciate it, because it really, listen, if some of this, we know some of this is over our head, or we wouldn't have all this interest. So this is great.
Yeah, it's like, and even when you are doing it, it's nice to go back and kind of think about things again, and go back and what's working, what's not working, what you might have to add. So it's a great tool to always go back to and change things out.
And guys, take advantage of that free discovery session. I mean, that's like incredible. I mean, and then it might be to the point like whether you learn it all, or if you finally say, you know what, I'm going to delegate this. Tori, can you help me? And that's okay too, because, delegating is smart business a lot of times. There's so much that we can't handle everything, which is the beauty of a growing business and knowing what you're good at.
Yeah, I mean, we do everything from we have DIY marketing help, where we help you with your marketing as you do it, to hands off, like we do your marketing for you. And it's not cookie cutter, just social media posts. It's crafting a customized plan for your business. So, and I don't take on too many of those clients because, as you know, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, exactly. So Catherine Morrow just made a great post here. Thank you, Tori, so much to do when you're just starting. But I mean, compliments to you for being on this. There is a lot to do when you get started, but I think it's easier it's better for us to be a little overwhelmed when we get started versus being in business like 10 years and then going, gosh, I should have been using social media more, or making videos. Or so good for you for being on, even just starting out. So how long have you been in business, Catherine? While she types that, everybody, if you have any last minute questions for Tori, now is your chance.
Yeah, and I agree with her. There's a lot when you're just getting started, and it all kind of goes together at some point, but it may seem like a chaotic disaster in the beginning. And I always go back to make sure you have your clear vision, what it is you want to do in your business. Make sure that you have very clear products and services that you can offer, because you need to make sure that you have those two set first. She's been in business a long time. She's just overwhelmed with the marketing.
Oh, hey, listen, ditto. Why do you think this? I learn something every time I hear Tori speak. I just heard her speak at the conference in Denver, and it's informative. It takes, I think, a lot to get in our head and even just map out our own process of how we're going to capitalize and make the most of our efforts. So yeah, I've been in business a long time too, and I still need to hear this over and over again.
Well, I mean, it's not, like I said, marketing isn't something that's one and done. You have to learn a new marketing tactic. You also need to go back and revisit your plans, not only yearly, but even quarterly, to see if you're still on track and that's your end goal and where you want to be. We just started a 6-week marketing planning session just before this call. So, I mean, if anybody's interested in that, feel free to reach out to me, because you could still get into there and really make a big difference in 2020 and get some of this stuff actually going. And you need to learn one marketing tactic at a time, the major ones, the basics, and then you build on them from there. And so I can help you do all of that if you have questions.
Yeah, take advantage of that, because it did just start. Tori, thank you so much, guys. I will convert this and put it up for you to listen to. And as always, I learned something from you, Tori, and thank all of you for joining us tonight. And we look forward to kicking it off in 2022. We will not be here in December. But please feel free to reach out to Tori, or if you need me to connect you with Tori, just reach out and I'll put you in touch with her. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for having me.
Always.